Recorded Books presents The Hitler Years, Volume 1, Triumph, 1933 to 1939, by Frank McDonough, narrated by Paul Mcgann.
The Third Reich was dominated by Adolf Hitler, who boasted that it would last for 1,000 years. It ended catastrophically 12 years and 4 months later. Hitler's destruction of democracy in Germany, his attempt to dominate the world by force, and the horrific Holocaust he ordered are central events in history. Up to the end of 1941, Hitler's armies conquered larger areas of territory than Julius Caesar, Attila the Hun, and Napoleon. The ghost of Hitler is ever present in political discussions, in modern culture, in the media, and throughout historical debate. Hitler remains the epitome of horror, but also a source of endless fascination. The Hitler Years aims to tell the story of the history of the Third Reich from 1933 to 1945 in 2 volumes. I adopt a chronological explanation. Each chapter deals with a particular year to give a blow-by-blow account. Sections in each of the chapters explore various themes to provide further context to the events under discussion. This allows the reader to see how events evolved and fitted into the overall development of Hitler's rule. Narrative history incorporating analysis and interpretation is, in my view, preferable to a thematic structure, which might be suitable for students looking at various aspects on a university module, but can become extremely difficult to follow for the general reader. So many new books appear each year on various aspects of the history of the Third Reich, but there are few general histories, and a new one is thoroughly warranted. This first volume, Triumph, covers the period 1933 to 1939. It begins with the dramatic intrigues that brought Hitler to power, and ends shortly after his swift conquest of Poland in 1939. The second volume, Disaster, starts with the build-up to the attack on Western Europe in 1940, then moves on to examine the key battles of the Second World War and the Holocaust, and concludes with the catastrophic German defeat in 1945. Each volume can be read as a distinct examination of each period, but taken together, they make up a comprehensive history of the period Hitler ruled Germany between 1933 and 1945. These 2 volumes draw on a wide range of sources, including letters, speeches, newspapers, government documents, party records, army memoranda, SS and foreign ministry documents, war trial evidence, interviews with contemporary witnesses, diaries, and memoirs. Some sources give the view from the top, others the reaction of ordinary people from below. The way these different viewpoints interact gives us a rich and vivid picture of events as they unfold. These books would have been impossible to write without drawing on the major achievements of recent political, diplomatic, economic, social, and military historians. The monumental events related in the following pages are not, in my view, susceptible to any simple thesis. However, my interpretation of each episode, which grows out of the sources assembled, makes clear my position at every stage, and new insights emerge repeatedly. These 2 books will correct many of the myths that have developed over many decades concerning Hitler's foreign and racial policies and life inside the Third Reich. There are hundreds of thousands of historical studies of Hitler's Germany. Old disagreements among academic historians between the intentionalists, who believe Hitler was an all-powerful master of the Third Reich, and the structuralists, who view him as a weak dictator presiding over a chaotic political system, now seem inconclusive. It is possible to argue in favour of either case in different policy areas. There were some historians who argued that Germany followed a Sonderweg, or special path, of abnormal development over centuries that rejected democracy and modernity in favour of a militaristic and aristocratic will to create a European empire. This made German militarism and its association with Hitler seem wholly inevitable. However, this idea that Germany's politics and economy developed differently from other major European nations is now viewed as flawed and too deterministic. The same is true of writers who depicted the Third Reich as a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?